Leanna Hawkins, and you're watching M&A TV. We are at the 2023 Future of Dealmaking Summit, and I'm joined today by Tarrus Richardson. He is the CEO of IBM Partners. Welcome, Tarrus.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here today. So I would love to know a little bit more about some of the recognition that you've received for your work here at the summit, and tell us about the work itself, please.
Thank you very much, Leanne. I'm excited to be here at M&A Advisors. We've been recognized with at least being a finalist in two categories. One is the Deal of the Year, and the other is the Utilities Deal of the Year. Our firm, IBM Partners, was founded in 2010. We focus on only two sectors, utilities and government contracting. And our first investment in the utility space was in 2018 in a business called Lafada Contract Management out of Philadelphia. And what we saw was a founder-owned business who wanted to find a partner to help them professionalize the business and take it to the next level. Over the following 4.5 years since our investment, we had great success. We were able to help that entrepreneur and his wife, build a senior management team that went from 2 people to 9. We grew the employee base from 90 to over 200. We, with a very focused effort in DEI, spent a lot of time trying to make sure we increased the diversity in the candidate pool. And so 1 out of every 2 hires since our ownership was either a woman or a diverse professional. We grew revenue from sort of 10 to, or probably from 15 to 40 million of revenue, profits from 2 to 10. And then in 2022, we were successful at basically going to market, talking to a number of strategic buyers, and we sold the business for, call it $70 million when we had paid 8 for it. So for us and our investors, it was a 27X. But most importantly, we distributed about $11 million to the senior management team in a way that we feel like we get, sort of success with our shareholders, success with the founder who got a second bite of the apple. He made more money on the sell with us than he did when we bought it from him. And then in terms of the employee base, everyone got a check at the end. So we just feel like it was a win for everyone.
Absolutely. That's a huge career accomplishment for you and everyone at the firm. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So Tarrus, looking into the future, obviously we're wrapping up the last quarter of 2023. Looking to 2024, what are some of the sectors and geographies that you think are poised for action?
Yeah. As I mentioned, our focus is on utilities and government contracting. Both of those sectors have a lot of wind at their back. On the utility sector, electrification is just a reality. We have to upgrade our grid because there's more and more users who need more and more electricity in the going, sort of 5 to 10 years forward. And so we see a ton of opportunity from utilities looking to attract capital from private equity firms into their supply base to help them professionalize, help them invest in the company's equipment and their resources so that they can be a better service provider to utilities. So we think we'll do 2 to 3 deals a year in the utility sector, and we think that market is one that's poised for growth in 2024. On the government contracting side, we're in 2 markets. We're in the military food supply channel, and so in a world where there's a ton of political or geopolitical activity right now, being able to sort of find opportunities to support, build, and invest in suppliers to that ecosystem is one that's got a lot of need right now, given the activity on the geopolitical side within the world. So we think there's a ton of opportunity to sort of support management teams and founders there. And then finally, we also are in the IT space. And so whether it be IT modernization, whether it be cybersecurity, and or just sort of cloud migration from sort of home-based or local servers to the cloud. There's just a huge amount of money that government can spend. They're probably, 5 to 10 years behind commercial enterprise in both cloud migration and some of the cybersecurity risk. And so, again, private equity firms that specialize in working with government contractors to then help those agencies update and automate their IT needs is something that we think is a ton of opportunity in 24.
A long-term process, though, I would imagine.
Yes, it is. I mean, you can't start from scratch. And so our investment model is to work with founders who've been there and worked with agencies over 10 to 20 years. And so they have a proven experience with those agencies. And now as they have more capital to spend, it's sort of like we're a trusted advisor and or sort of service provider as they look now to sort of double their spend in those categories.
So Tarrus, obviously we have many firms and individuals at the summit being recognized for their excellence in mergers and acquisitions as firms and as individuals. What are some of the things that you think it takes for people to be excellent in this field?
Yeah, it's a great question. I've been in the private equity business, M&A business for 30 years. And so one thing that's helpful is sort of people that have had the privilege of going through cycles. And so we're in a moment of time where interest rates are fluctuating, rising, access to capital and the liquidity in the capital markets is sort of tight. So you have to think about how to raise and structure a deal differently. There's a 40-year history where interest rates have been declining. And now when you sit here in 2023, the next 5 to 10 years is likely interest rates will be flat to up. And so what that really means is that prices are going to come down, and the likelihood that your business receives multiple, appreciation when you go to sell is more in question. And so in order for us in the private equity business to be successful today and going forward, you really have to specialize in the sectors. And so you can't be a generalist as much today as you used to be. And you got to put on a hat of basically being a value creation person by how do you build a bigger team? How do you build more subject matter expertise? How do you form deeper and stronger relationships with the customers and the industry so that when you meet your founder-owned business or your business partner, you're not just bringing capital, but you're saying, here's our toolkit for helping your business grow in partnership with you. In general, that is the way of the business today and going forward because you can't count exclusively on multiple appreciation going forward.
Absolutely. So team, relationships, expertise, and then capital.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for your insights and being here today, Tarrus.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Leanne.
You're watching M&A TV.